Hey everybody, it's Thomas. It's time to talk about this week's Blood Bowl League of Blood Bowl. Ugh, some bad things happened to my team. As you can see, the Bombardier will be missing next game. And Coogan's Bluff is now Coogan's Bluff Jr., which, well, we'll get to it in a second. Played against Chris, and if you haven't watched the game, there'll be a link here and in the description below. But I got very saddened. I had to apothecary. I actually got 2 deaths here, and I had to apothecary one of them because it was on the guy with catch. But yeah, 6 casualties sustained, 1 death. One of these is for me falling over. A bunch of these KOs are for me falling over. This game did not go very well. First half went about as bad as the first half can go, and then I messed up my opportunity to tie. So, you know, could be better. Only got the pass. I got some casualties, I guess. And I apparently killed somebody as well. Don't remember doing that, but it definitely happened. Oh, that's right. My goblin killed a snotling, I want to say. So I got a fair amount of SPP out of this match, actually. I mean, it looks bad, but I got 8, 13, 14 SPP, so it's actually not too bad. It's nothing compared to the 12, 15, 20 that Chris managed to get out of this. Rolled 1, got the 20,000, which is not the end of the world because I've made a ton of money every other week, so I'm still rolling in it. But so yeah, Coogan's Bluff, the original died and has been replaced with Coogan's Bluff Jr. Hopefully we do not get to Coogan's Bluff the third, but I don't want to put it out there too bad. But yes, my I believe where did he go? Merkel's Boner got the kill on that one, I want to say, and is leveled up. He's almost level 3, which is crazy. Goblins shouldn't get to level 3. Hopefully he does manage to get to level 3 though, because then I can give him sidestep, and then this guy is just super annoying. I actually use him to mark people. The trolls and the fanatic persistently, of course, refused to gain SPP. Some of this is this troll getting KO'd right away. That didn't help, and the fanatic got stomped on really early. Yeah, unsurprisingly, a 5-strength team totally mauled me. I did a bunch of damage, but nothing compared to what I was inflicted upon me. Let's take a look at Chris's half the equation. Where are we? Here we go. Metric or charts. He won 70,000. Hooray for rolling 6s. Those are good numbers, especially considered how sad his rolls have been. Actually, he's been doing pretty well the last couple weeks, so I shouldn't say how sad his rolls have been. Take a look at this. This snotling is out. Oh no, Sneaky Git missed next game. It's a little annoying, but what can you do? Looks like he filled out in snotlings. He finally fired the one with the minus agility, it looks like. So there's that. Almost all of his ogres leveled up, though, which is a little scary. These 2 are within leveling up, and this one is a MVP away from getting level 3. This the new guy, Galactus, got a whole bunch of injuries in, so he did a lot of work. Yeah. So piling on here, guard. These are the 2 level ups he got. Piling on and guard. This is kind of nice, actually. I wish he had guard on more of his players. He rolled a double on this one, got blocked, so that's kind of exciting for him. This ogre is going to be getting a lot more SPP now. But guard is good because just making his giant pile of ogres more dangerous is definitely a beneficial thing. Also helps protect the snotlings a little bit. And piling on will make this ogre lethal. So he's got a good diversification in his ogres. I honestly would like to see a strong arm just because it'd be fun for me. But more guard is probably what I'd recommend moving forward for him, but it doesn't really matter. None of the snotlings managed to get into level 2 territory. Not surprising because they don't do anything on this team. Even picking up the ball is beyond them. So yeah, Chris burned all of his money on filling up with snotlings. I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily. He's going to be, you know, just protecting more things, and it's never a bad thing. So 1330 for his team value, 1370 when this guy comes back, minus any level ups. So his team is getting bigger and bigger and scarier and scarier. That's what happens when your key players are 140k each, though. Let's take a look at some of the other matches. I'm not going to lie, this week is less exciting because these 2, well, they're both forced ties. Well, let's see how they did anyway. Pants Commander walked away with 30k. Not the best there. Any level ups? Nope, just the 2 from last week. And looks like this troll got the touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. So this troll is almost level 3, which is, God, as the other goblin player, extremely frustrating. But we'll see what he gets. You know, I don't know. I said some stuff last week, but who knows? Break tackle wouldn't be too bad because it helped him from getting marked. Hard to go wrong with guard. There's a lot of options, honestly. None of them are that terrible. Strong arm wouldn't be too bad for this team, though, considering how much he throws. And pogo or sidestep, obviously. The only one to get unless he gets the doubles, in which case, probably block is the way to go. MVP, I think, went to the Fnatic? No, that's the wrong numbers for that, because he's level 2 before this. I think it went to the Bombardier. Huh. Mixed bag there. We'll see. This team, at this point, might as well buy the third reroll. Once he buys the third reroll, this team is set. This team is actually better than my team once it gets the third reroll because of the concentration skills on key players. I mean, not that Goblins getting skills is bad. The team needs its Goblins to win, but your key players having things is definitely good. So let's take a look at the other side of this. Again, force tie is no good, but sometimes it happens. We're just trying to keep the league moving forward. We take a look at this. 60K for Sid. Look at that. He broke his streak. Unbelievable. I didn't think it was ever going to happen. I'm really glad it did, though. Sid's record is not looking so hot, but he got a level up on this line woman, and he's got a bunch of money now. He can afford to get his apothecary and his blitzer, and then he's still have 50K left over. Honestly, you could probably skip getting the apothecary, and let's see, 90. Get a thrower or a catcher at that point. Probably a thrower, I'd imagine, would be what you want. But this team's actually in much better shape. A week off and not getting injured can do a lot for a team. Let's take a look at the rest of the week here. Another forced tie here between the Cast and Wood Elf team. If a 1-1 score for a Wood Elf matchup isn't a sign of a tie, I don't know what is. 50K for the Black House team here. Let's see here. Looks like SVP and touchdowns went to kind of random people. Yeah, it doesn't look like. Looks like they went to people with skills already, which isn't too bad. This one player is actually an MVP away from getting level 3, which is good. Although you can get a real skill at that point, like block. He's got 160 now. Hard to say. I still think getting a reroll is good. Getting one reroll will definitely help this team quite a bit. And he's getting to the point where now where his team value is high enough where he's going to be getting fewer and fewer inducements and can't rely on that for his free rerolls. So I think getting one reroll is still the way to go. Even with 40K, which is whatever, if he rolls well over the next couple weeks and get a 4th Chaos Warrior and be fine. His team is stable enough now where I think it'll be okay. Let's take a look at the Wood Elf side of that. Obviously the Wood Elf going 1-1 is not that good for Wood Elf. Only 40K as well, but it has been rolling pretty well for his wins, so I think that's okay. Let's see here. Rolls. So this must have gone to... Oh, did both go to a line then? That would actually make sense here. Yeah, actually, it looks like pretty good. So, more levels up on his lineman. So we still have this injured one. His War Dance is going to be back for next week. Doesn't technically need another player because he'll have 11, but I think, well, we'll see. You can probably get away without getting the third reroll. I think, arguably, though, you don't really need another thrower and catcher, so he has some options. Another reroll wouldn't be out of place, though. You could also get a tree if he wants to go for max funny, but I think that's a mistake as well. A second thrower wouldn't be out of place because he's better than these linemen for sure. Could certainly get another lineman, but I think if you're not going to get the third reroll, getting another thrower is good. Start them on the path, getting more SPP, and this team needs a deep bench as soon as possible. Could also get another catcher, which wouldn't be too bad. Another deep end threat wouldn't be a horrible thing to have for this team. More catching power will definitely assist a lot. I still think he needs kick on one of these players. I don't think he can afford to get a fouling player, so yeah, kick for sure. And then could get whatever he feels like. I really like getting wrestle on a lineman. I think wrestle would definitely help. There's enough block now where wrestle would definitely be something useful, so something to consider there. Let's take a look at the last matchup here. Where are we? Oh, I totally skipped over this one because for some reason I thought it was first. So this is the other match that actually happened here. Skaven versus Mark's Underworld team. The link will be up here, obviously, but this game was it was a weird game to say the least. First half definitely did not go Skaven's way, and then the second half did definitely not go Mark's way whatsoever. So we take a look at this. Great Egg rolled an 80, which is ridiculous. Hooray for fame. Good amount of hitting on both sides. It's weird to see a Skaven team getting more casualties dealt out than the Underworld team, but Goblins are very punchable, especially because this team has tackle now. Lots of running, as you can see, pass as well. So some good SPP generation on this team. Jeez, another week of just crazy SPP. 6, 12, 17, 18 SPP. So not Chris levels, but still pretty good. Only took 2 casualties and 2 KOs in response. Some failed dodges here as well, though I think a great deal of these casualties and KOs are actually due to dodge out failures. Yeah. This game did not go as good for Mark, though. Only 1 casualty plus the touchdown plus the MVP means he's looking at 10 for his total generation for this week. So not the best. This team continues to be terrifying. Look at all of these numbers greater than 1. God, it's ridiculous. So, Gut Runner, level 3. Lots of options for this. We'll see if she rolls doubles or not. If she rolls doubles, then everything is crazy wide open. Mutations galore. Big hand, always a good thing. I think the funniest thing possible would be very long legs, and then into leap, and then into... doesn't even matter. Pass block? Sure. I don't know. Getting a level 4 is not impossible for gun runners for sure. Rat Ogre leveling up is very, very good. I am very partial, I should say, to getting Juggernaut on this guy. I think any kind of blitzing wild animal type big guy really benefits from Juggernaut because it helps avoid the fact that you will fail your rolls every once in a while and you'll get both down. So Juggernaut helps make that push. Juggernaut is also really good with the unit with Frenzy because that helps you push and surf out. And surfing, while it doesn't get you SPP, is a guaranteed removal and therefore the better option. 190 now with that ridiculous win. Her fan factor is almost as high as mine, and I started with way more than she did. That's what happens when... I think she's undefeated at this point. Yeah, no defeats. That's what happens when you are undefeated. I mean, the team value is already ridiculous. I kind of feel like she might as well just get a Gutter Runner. Might as well have 4. I mean, at this point, you're giving away so much to most of the teams below you anyway that you might as well just get used to having the 4th Gutter Runner. Deepening this bench out is definitely good because these players are all very, very injurable. Let's see here. 190. Could get a thrower as well. That actually won't be too bad because throwers are, as always, better than linemen if you can afford them. Might as well. 3 rerolls, ending Apothecary. She's already got most of the essentials she needs. So yeah, I'd start filling out the bench. Yeah, you could get another lineman, but I think 2 throwers is better because, again, 2 skills for 1 level up more is ridiculous. For sure. It's just not even close. You're getting a skill for free. I think it's a no-brainer if you have the money, which she definitely does. Could save to replace these Gutter Runners, but hey, that's what you're filling out the bench for in general. So yeah, another thrower, another Gutter Runner. Yes, you're giving away a ton of money, but you're already doing that, so who cares? Yeah, so let's look at Mark's side of things here. Rolled only 40, not the best. Oof, only 1 week of real quality here. And some missed next games on some key parts here. Skaven Thrower, still got 1 at least, so that's not too bad. The Mega Blitzer being out definitely hurts, and this team didn't get any levels up this week again, which, man, that is rough. At this point, I don't know if he needs to buy anything still. You might as well keep saving the money. You could definitely buy more goblins, but I'm tempted to say that you're better off just holding on to the money still because you've got key players here, and everyone else does not matter. We'll see. From what I remember, too, it might be to his advantage to not take anybody so he can get an inducement or limit inducements. We'll look at that in the preview, though, which we're going to get to. Well, we'll start now. Looking ahead to week 6 here, we've got Skaven versus Ogre. This is kind of a weird matchup that is pretty terrifying to everybody, honestly. If Skaven decides to blow, well, I say blow, 150 on things, that would give 115 inducements to the Ogre team. Is that right? Let's take a look here. Yeah, he's done all his level ups. So yeah, 150 to the Ogre team. Well, assuming normal rolls here, it'll be 1380. So that's just, oh, that'll be 200 inducements more. Questionable at that point, because that's like a wizard and a babe, or 2 rerolls, or some bribes, which this team can definitely use bribes, given, well, maybe not even, because the little guys are so terrible, so who even cares? I don't know. I think that taking the players is still worth it, even though you're giving away so much, because again, you're giving away so much, but you're getting so much more. Inducements are barely a balancing, is sort of the thought of it. This is really going to come down to how successful Chris is at injuring her players, and how successful Greyduck is at getting around and still doing a lot of damage anyway. Having a lot of blodge pieces will help. Having more players will help. Having the throwing access from the throw with accurate will help as well. Having the 4-edge lineman will help. The Rat Ogre is probably not going to be that big of an impact this game, just simply for the same reason the Trolls aren't big impact in my game. Tons of 5-strength players are an issue. So we'll see. Bonehead is always an option too. I'm going to put this Skaven team is getting this, but it'll be close. This team can definitely get hurt quite a bit, and this team can hurt quite a bit. So we'll see. Next up, we've got me versus Andrew. Let's take a look at some numbers here. I believe Andrew has a couple level ups that are still pending. Yes, he has 2. So assuming normals here, he'll be at 1200. And I am at 1090. Is that accurate? No. Oh, weird. 1130. Let's still check the numbers here. Okay, 1330. So yeah, that's right. Anyway. Where am I? Okay. Oh, maybe that... Is that factoring in that? I don't even know. Okay, well... Either way, assuming I have 1130, we'll just go off that number. God, cyanide, sometimes not the best. 1130. Assuming levels up, I'll have 1 bribe available, so I'm probably not... So I'm pretty happy with not buying more players. I could definitely get my final goblin at this point, but I don't think I need to. We'll see if Andrew decides to spend his money as well. If he does, that would definitely change the calculus of whether we get another player. But if he spends 100 to get the 3rd reroll, which is never a bad idea, then I'd be looking at 3 bribes, which would be great for me. We'll see though. As for the game itself, elf bullshit can still mess me up. Got a lot of annoying things. The chainsaw is very effective, but if I'm realistic about this, odds are much better that he's going to beat me. I mean, like I said, it's very possible that I could manage to win, but I'm not expecting it at this point. I don't think that I can do enough to slow down the elves. We'll see. If I get the ball first and can just stall out the first half and chainsaw and Fnatic his guys to Kingdom Come, then I've got a chance. It would force him to score early in the second half at that point to try to get the ball away from me, at which point I could hopefully score again. So we'll see. If I get the ball early, I'll feel good. If I can't, meh, not too bad. This is also why I didn't fire and replace the Bombardier, because Bombardier is pretty much worthless against elves anyway. So might as well just leave him on the roster. He doesn't know SPP anyway, so it's not really an advantage on the other end. And the injury is just niggling, so it's not the end of the world. So yeah, I think elves are going to win this one. I just can't keep up with that kind of scoring power. Chaos versus Amazons. We shall see. Both these teams tend to make mistakes. Sid will be at 820 if he spends nothing. I think he should honestly plan on spending his money. At least 90, this will be gone. Well, that's okay. If he gets the Apothecary, which may end up being the best thing after we do the math here, he'll be at 940 regardless, which is probably where he wants to be, I think. Or is that even right? Let's double check his team. So if he buys the Blitzer, he would still be missing a player. Okay, so yeah, I think buying a catcher or a thrower here, plus the blitz is what you want to do. So we'll add 160. We'll put him at 960 for his team value, and we compare that to, where are we? Compare that to the Chaos team. There's one pen, nope, no pen level ups at 1020. Assuming that he buys his reroll, that would only add 60, so he'd be at 1080. So actually, yeah, Sid would be fine with doing that. He'd still get 100 in inducements. This is what I was talking about before, where the Chaos team needs to buy that reroll, because he's not going to have any inducements moving forward. His team value is just getting too big. So 980 for the Amazon team will leave him with access to the Apothecary, so doesn't need to buy the Apothecary. Get the 2 players, wait in the Apothecary. I think that'll be good. As for the game itself, Sid having no real skill progression whatsoever kind of matches the Chaos team's limited skill progression. Like, Pro is a reroll substitute, and Dirty Player will have no impact on this game. So I think just the Amazon team's ability to stand up to players without any skills, no block, no tackle, will be the biggest factor. Having a 1 in 6 chance of knocking someone down is a disadvantage, for sure. And depending on what skill he gets on this line woman, no question about it, it could be a huge issue for them. Yeah. I'm going to say the Amazon team is going to win this based on stats and numbers alone. This could easily be a tie based on just overall performance, but 4 rerolls is a huge difference over what will probably be 1 reroll plus Pro, so 1.5, let's call it. I think the Amazon team should be able to run away with this. Yeah, weaker players, barely, but dodge will be a huge factor here, and having 4 blitzers again will be a big deal. If he gets his thrower to meet his catcher, then he'll have a little bit more passing and scoring ability, and that can make all the difference in the world. This team is universally just a little bit better, I think. Minotaur is annoying, but again, totally manageable. I think the Amazon team should win this barely. Goblins versus Underworld. This is a game that looks terrifying, honestly. Assuming normal level ups for Evan, he'll be at 1150. If he then buys his reroll, which I think he should, he would be at 1210. And Mark has nothing coming unless he buys somebody, which I don't think he will. So, yeah. I think at that point, Pants Commander might as well buy stuff. He's not going to get any inducements out of this matchup anyway. He might as well buy his 3rd reroll to make his matchup more stable overall. So if he does that, Mark will have about 100 in inducements, which is actually pretty dangerous for this team. I don't know what he would get, though. Probably 2 Babes, I would imagine. Just because this team can definitely KO all day, every day. Claw will help deal with the trolls, though. Boy, missing the Strength Blitzer is really messing up the calculus on this. I'm going to say that Mark's team still has a better odds of scoring. He's got better ball handling with the 1 throw he has remaining, and is faster overall. Pogo is annoying, but definitely manageable. No tackle on the Underworld team is still going to be a hindrance. I still am going to say that I think that the Underworld team will do this. This actually has a really good potential of being a tie, especially basing off of my matchup against Mark first week. Tie seems pretty likely. Both these teams haven't skilled up too much, but we'll see what Pants Commander does in terms of getting his Goblin team up higher. I think Mark still has a bit edge on this one. Pants Commander definitely plays his Goblins a little more loose than I do, and therefore has more potentially awesome, amazing plays, so we'll see. I think Mark has the edge and may win, but I'm going to call this a tie, just to be on the safe side. So quick recap here. Skaven, Wood Elf, Amazon, tie. We'll see how that goes. Rankings for the week as is. This video's getting really long, but we'll try to wrap it up here. Not surprising, the Skaven team being undefeated is at the top of the charts with 13 points. Wood Elves with the forced tie is at 9. Mark with his loss here falls down in overall points accumulation, but is still in 3rd. I am hanging out at 4th just because I've won twice. Everyone else is slowly but surely hanging around together. We'll see. This can. We're almost at a halfway point, but we're not there yet even. So definitely time for these all to change around. Quick perusal of the Hall of Fame. Anything interesting here? Anything changes? Most experienced players. Not too surprising to see these on the Skaven team with as many SPP as they've been gathering. Yeah, 3 players on here. Actually, Mark's team has a bunch of players on here too, but I think that's just that he's had a bunch of SPP, kind of coagulating around, or coagulating, I should say, around a few players instead of being spread out on specific players, which is kind of unfortunate. Best score, again, not surprising to see the Skaven team all over this as well. 5 on this super gutter runner, which is kind of crazy. Best thrower. Not too many changes here, even with the passing. I think passing's got a little bit spread out here. Best interception, only 1. Someday we'll get more, but I'm really glad this is still a troll. I can't get over that. Most injuries went to Tharg. You're welcome, Chris, for letting me top the charts here. Really weird to see how many people from the Skaven team are on here. 3 Ogre players, though, not too surprising whatsoever. The hit of your teams being on here, definitely no surprise here. I still have best runner on this guy. I don't understand how it's happening, but I'm sure I'll get rapidly overtaken by one of these gutter runners in the near future. Best throwing. Oh yeah, this has got to include players because there's no way this is anything else. That's amazing. Survivor still means nothing and probably won't mean anything ever because our league is not going to be long enough to really matter. And more goblins on the kill chart, because why not? I think it's weird that goblins and ogres have the most amount of kills, like total team-wise. Best receiver still doesn't mean too much because we're still early. No one really passes that much, but not too surprising to see a Skaven player at the top of the charts. So yeah, I keep saying this, I've said this the past couple weeks, but this week is actually true. We are definitely in the point now where everybody's actually in a pretty stable position. Actually, these teams having weeks off was pretty good for both of them. The Chaos team and the Amazon team get to stabilize a little, no injuries or anything weird like that. So, see how it goes. I think this week will definitely be a big turning point for a lot of teams. The Underworld team is in the position to get a lot of SPP everywhere. The Ogre team is in its kind of terrifying, almost final form now. And the Skaven team is just a monstrosity of terror. So, I don't know. This team is just going to either get more terrifying, or because it's against the Ogre team, will get pummeled into the ground. We shall see. It is going to be interesting, to say the least. Anyway, moving forward, like I said, we're almost at the halfway point, but we got a lot of games ahead of us, so I'm excited to see how the league progresses. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later.